Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to another edition of the Starting Five with Ben Heisler, my man Ben on the scene. You got some really good stuff for us here, so lay it down. Let us know what we're starting off with.
Yeah, it's Eastern and Western Conference Finals time, Coach, so it's exciting to be back and really get into some of these matchups, plus a couple surprises along the way. And let's start with what we already know. Game one in the books for the Western Conference Finals with the Golden State Warriors, 110-106 winner over Houston. Steph Curry continues to have his moments where he looks like the MVP guy that we all saw him over the course of the year. He dropped 34. Draymond Green had a very impressive performance as well, really filling up the stat line for him. Warriors actually outscored Houston. I saw this 47-29 in 16 minutes where Draymond Green was the center. They really enjoyed playing small. That worked out to their advantage over the course of the game. What were your overall impressions from what you saw in Game 1, Coach?
Well, let's not mistake that they took a big advantage over Dwight being injured. Even though he wasn't great, he was turning the ball over a little bit. He had something like 10 rebounds in like 8 minutes, and he was scoring down low. They looked really good, I thought, aside from those turnovers, with him in there. And they certainly could have used him down the stretch on just a couple possessions. And in a game like that was decided by 4 points, that's all it could have taken for them to steal the first game and get home court advantage.
Yeah, it was a remarkable job for them. And I thought the ability for them to be able to adapt, especially when Howard went down. And again, that's something that's, I think, almost easier said than done. You have a game plan if you're a coach. You're expecting Howard to give you anywhere from 33 to 40 minutes a game. And they did a really good job of playing small. Kevin McHale said post-game, you know, a lot of people think we like to go small, but when Dwight Howard is in the game and he can be that presence for us, that's a big deal. Moving on to Game 2, do you think it's going to be a situation where Golden State's going to continue to try and go smaller? Or do you think Houston maybe has a response for them now?
Well, we'll have to find out. I think that we're going to just keep our eye out on Dwight to see if he can play, and if he can't go, I see no reason why perhaps Houston can't match him small as well. Maybe we even see somebody like Josh Smith at the 5. Why not go crazy and do something like that? You know, it'll be a wacky number of games here where they're going to probably try a lot of things in the first 2 or 3 games before they get settled and really start, you know, taking swings at each other.
Josh Smith is a really interesting name. I'm glad you brought him up because you saw what he was able to do, especially in the comeback win versus the Clippers, his ability to hit open jump shots, playing outside and near the top of the key in the perimeter. Are they a better team when Smith is on the outside, or do you like him more inside for his size and his ability to rebound?
I mean, I think both. I think he's shooting 36 or 37% from 3 in the playoffs. He's a viable three-point shooter, and if they want to leave him open like they've been, then they're going to get hurt. He's going to make enough where it's going to be painful for them. But then he's also terrific on the short roll and attacking. He just had a couple of brain farts in there, some bad plays that down the stretch that were key, and perhaps he's gotten over the yips there. If he can clean that up, and there was one crucial play where Harden went to the basket. He didn't move fast enough to get to the other side of the lane, and Harden couldn't slip him the ball. He gets the basket there. The entire last few minutes are completely different. So they're right there. They're on a razor's edge, but they're very close to figuring it out and maybe getting a win here.
One thing we can both agree upon, Riley Curry completely stole the show post-game last night, did she not?
It's an interesting debate as well as whether they should be allowed to do that, because I was thinking, I don't want to be the only a-hole in the room, but if let's just say he didn't play that well and there were going to be some tough questions asked for him and he brings his kid, is that his way of, like, you know, sort of no one's going to ask him any questions that are of substance at that point? I don't know, but it was very cute. I will give him that, and that's why I feel like I am being a jerk by even bringing that up, but it seemed like across Twitter there was some indication that there might be a need to not have the kids there.
Well, just piggybacking on that one more point before we move on to the next topic, I remember Dusty Baker would do that all the time with his kid when he was managing the Cubs. He'd always bring in Darren Baker whenever Dusty had a boneheaded move or the Cubs lost a tough game because he was trying to – I mean, it felt to a lot of people that he was trying to deflect the tough questions by having his kid there. At least with Curry, they won, and I think we might see Riley a couple more times over the course of the next several games. Topic number 2 here on the Starting Five, we continue on talking about the Western Conference Finals. That Dwight Howard injury, he left in the first quarter after Josh Smith fell into him. He's hoping to play on Thursday, but I think right now the chances are 50-50 at best. Can Houston, let alone win this series, but can they compete in this series if they don't have Dwight Howard available?
No.
Is that it?
There's no other answer.
About it then? I mean, they competed for a while, though, last night. They hung tough, and still Golden State pulled ahead, and they had that tremendous advantage playing small. But maybe it's a situation where they can dig down a little bit and at least make it still competitive.
Listen, and anything is possible. And, with a jump shooting team, you never know if they're going to go cold, right? But I don't know. It just seems like you're talking about talent versus talent here, and if you're going to take away that, and listen, people might have detractors of Dwight Howard in his game, but when he is playing like he can play and move like he can move on defense, it like shifts titanically how those games are played. Without him, Clint Capella, like he did nicely, but is he even in shape? I don't know if he can go for more than 20 minutes without getting winded. So I don't think so. I would imagine if Dwight Howard doesn't go or is 50%, then this is going to be a 5-game series.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Maybe they steal a game at home. Maybe Golden State and the Splash Brothers have an off night, and Houston defends a little bit better, like we saw towards the end of Game 6 and Game 7. Howard, that presence inside is so critical for them. And then the fact that you're playing without your best point guard and Patrick Beverley gone, he's such a big deal to them inside, and his ability to, you saw it in Game 7, that type of impact for him to be able to be on the boards and get to the basket, and as Hubie Brown likes to get those high percentage looks. For Howard, it's such a critical component to the Houston success. James Harden's the second runner; he's the runner-up in the MVP race, but he can't do it on his own. You need someone like Howard there. You're right. If he doesn't play, it's a 5-game series. I think he will at least be back for Game 3, though.
Fair enough. We'll have to find out.